We together have one earth to live on and from. We have to act accordingly responsible, because otherwise we will sooner or later reap what we have sowed. Every person on earth needs space, food and drinking water. There is a limited amount of clean drinking water, livable space and fertile soil where we grow our food on. The amount of space, drinkable water and fertile soil will not immensely rise on the earth. This is what you call the carrying capacity of the earth. The livability for human, nature and animal is determined by large through the climate and the oxygen levels on a planet like the earth. The climate is influenced by the CO2 that is in the atmosphere. More CO2 means less livable for man. The people are solely responsible for 50% of those CO2 emissions. With every new product that we make, house that we build, or car drive that we make, the level of CO2 rises. Every year, we intend to pollute less and put less CO2 in the atmosphere, and we make goals for less CO2 emissions. But every year, there will be net 110 million extra people on the earth who also want to have a house, eat, drink, drive a car and a smartphone. So every CO2 emissions goal that we intend on climate conferences will in advance not be met. Of course, the consumption is responsible for this, and someone in the rich West has a bigger impact on the earth than someone from a developing country. But as soon as developing countries become more prosperous, there also will rise the impact on the earth. Something that will be forever growing in a limited space is destined to fail. And there is room for a whole lot of people on the earth. But will there be livable space, drinkable water and resources and energy for everyone's need? And how much space is needed for humans to feel comfortable? To maintain the long-term livability for humans, there must be found a balance between the amount of people and the carrying capacity of the earth. The long-term carrying capacity of the earth is 529 million people. We are since 2016 on more than 8.3 billion people, amply too much for the long term. 15 times too much even. The effects of overpopulation are far-reaching. To name a few that can be traced back to overpopulation: shortage of resources, war, discontent, violence, religious and political terrorism, asylum problems, mass migration, overfishing the oceans, dying out of plant and animal species, disharmony, air pollution, warming of the earth, rising amount of extreme weather conditions, droughts, food shortage, and a lot more. We have reached the root of a big problem. But there is a solution, which is simple. How unpopular or freedom inhibiting this may seem, the solution is a worldwide 7-year birth stop, followed by a strict birth control for many generations, enforced by the individual governments. Whoa, sounds harsh, and maybe even inhuman, but think about the inhumanity that is being caused by overpopulation. We have the choice between planning and control, and creating a paradise on earth, or endless growth with the belonging destruction and misery. We, the people, operate often badly as one, but the situation asks for maturation. Special to note is that religious, nature protecting, climate enforcing, governing and political organizations never have put this obvious problem on the agenda. Maybe not enough guts? Too busy with their own careers? Not a positive long-term vision for humans? Not a popular topic? Who knows? However, we have to enforce our governments to take this unpopular measure. We are not going to let our earth to be unlivable, right? For ourselves, our children and grandchildren, we are required to take action now. Click on this link to sign a petition for a planned birth control and a path that leads to a balance in check with the carrying capacity of the earth.